let's connect to Twitch. My test monitor was down. Hold on. Okay, it registers that I'm live on Twitch on my other computer. It's a little slow. Oh wait, I forgot to change the stream title. I'm still apparently streaming Silent Hill F. No! I knew I was forgetting something. Alright, that was a chaotic start to the stream, but yes, welcome back to the house in Fata Morgana. Today, I will be exploring door number 2. I'm really excited for this part because I have never finished door 2. Like, I've already read through door 1 like 5 years ago, but I never finished door 2, so I'm about to get into territory that I don't recognize from the game. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for today's stream. So excited that I may cut off the beginning banter since we already lost a few minutes due to the needing to change the stream information. So let's go ahead and go back to the game. Is the game down? It's blank on my OBS. Is it blank on Twitch? No, it is not. All right, let's go ahead and inspect our memories and get to door numero 2. And it's save slot 4 on page 4. It is save slot 4 on page 4. I remembered this time that it was a blank screen. The second door. 1707. The mansion sat in ruins in that era. Not a soul resided within. The grandeur of the house was lost to the ages. It was in perpetual decline. I also need to move my webcam. Did not account for my webcam to be in a place that's covering up the text. I did not change up any of my OBS settings from my previous Silent Hill F stream last night. Oh, man. And let's move chat over here. There we go. Yeah, no, I did not do any adjustments to my OBS last night. My apologies, everyone. But yes, now everything should be in order for today's stream. The grandeur of the house was lost to the ages. It was in perpetual decline. Not a flower grew in the garden. Dust and dirt blackened the plaster. Cobwebs blanketed the corridors. Ivy surrounded the outer walls. It was not a pleasant sight. As hard as I tried to fight it, I could not stop the mansion's descent into disrepair. The death of the previous owner's grief, or perhaps despair, was far too much. After the beautiful, flaxen-haired family, people stayed away from the mansion. They had no heirs, so their bloodline simply vanished into the depths of history. It had been about 50 years since the house had last had a resident. The forlorn property appeared as though it had been abandoned for centuries, and the occasional villager who stumbled upon it did not remain there for more than a day. My time there was rather solitary. That was perhaps the loneliest time of my life. Everyone who visited the mansion feared it, and it was left without anyone to become its master. I even came to believe that my time serving as a maid would come to an end in this era. However, one day I noticed something out of the ordinary. As a servant of the house, I am almost immediately aware of any new presence within its walls. And there appeared to be someone downstairs. Can you imagine just how delighted I was? Though part of me was anxious about what kind of person I might find. The possibility that it could be you had my heart aflutter. So, resisting the urge to rush, I headed for the basement. The cellar was where red wine, smoked meat, and other preserved foods were kept. By that point, the wine was practically antique. As I had expected, a man had made his way into the cellar. Is anyone there? Although I am unsure if referring to him as a man is entirely accurate. Oh my. This is quite something. The very first thing I sensed was an almost unbearable stench. The odor emanated from the man, heightened by the food he had carelessly rummaged through. Blood-red liquid spilled from wine barrels, soaking the floor. His sunken eyes had a piercing, wolf-like glimmer in them. His teeth were sharp and yellowed, visible as he ripped into a chunk of meat. He grumbled in a seemingly inhuman tongue. I was looking at a beast. Bestia, as we soon call him. Or perhaps a half-beast. There was another source of odor in the room, though. It had something of a kind of metallic tinge to it, and when I noticed this, I nearly passed out. The red liquid was not just wine, as I had assumed. The beast had, I presume, stolen a weapon from the village. A sword, far too nice for him, lay on the floor by his side. I could hardly imagine how many people's lives he had taken with that blade. It was visibly wet with blood, even in the darkness of the cellar, but at the same time, it had an imposing gleam. The fine, luscious aroma of the wine could not mask the stench of the blood and the beast. Holding my breath, I took a few moments to ponder. Ponder what? Oh, master, you know. Tell me, were you summoned here by the mansion? I had to chat something on Twitch real quick. Alright. Did you come here knowing what kind of place it is? Music to my ears. If you are in want of money, you are welcome to help yourself to some of the furniture. And I imagine the villagers would be willing to welcome you if you dress yourself up a bit more like a person. Then you could trade the furniture for food and make your way to a larger town. The wolf was able to fool the wolf was able to fool the innocent little girl simply by putting on clothing, after all. Is that a Little Red Riding Hood reference? Oh dear. I was afraid you wouldn't understand me. What am I to do? I was in quite the predicament. Nevertheless, it meant a great deal to me then that I found someone who did not fear the mansion, be they human or beast. So I decided I should give him my assistance, while doing my best not to agitate him. Say, could you, perchance, be my new master? Ooh! Oh, that's beautiful! And I kind of like how the ocean has like this wavy effect to make it look like it's moving. Even though this is like a still like painted image, they're still trying to make it seem like the ocean is moving. And the still water towards like, you know, the mountains are still because they're not ocean. They're they're land water. Land water? I guess in a way they're not really seawater, they're more enclosed by the land. I don't know what I'm talking about here. I'm just going to say that this image is beautiful and I like the details they put to it. The mansion sat near the ocean. The say was perched upon a cliff. Might make it sound rather intimidating. But you could see the beautifully clear sea through the windows. A glittering expanse of emerald and turquoise. If the mansion had been in proper condition, it would have been breathtaking against that backdrop. I even wanted to plant orange trees in the garden. Though it was a tumultuous era, the sun still shone bright upon the land, which only served to emphasize the house's unsightliness. Tumultuous Era. I think I did this the first time I streamed this game, but I'm wondering, you know, what was going on in 1707? I think that was like the time of Napoleon? I'm going to check the Wikipedia page for 1707, 1907. Yeah, 1707 was probably a year of Napoleon's wars in Europe. I'm going to double check that. All right, I got a Wikipedia page up for this I could do for the online searching tab. The window is not working. There we go. There we go. Now we have the 1707 page. All right, so John V is crowned King of Portugal. The Treaty of Union of the two kingdoms of Scotland and England. That's not that tumultuous, I don't think. February 4th. The Great Northern War. 18 months after losing the Battle of Warsaw, while leading a cavalry charge for Saxony against the army of Sweden, General Otto von Pakel of Swedish Livonia is beheaded outside of Stockholm, following his conviction for treason. Okay, that's pretty tumultuous. Yeah, no, that's pretty tumultuous. Holy shit. Also, my mic is peaking. I'm gonna turn down my microphone a little bit. Yeah, sorry for the peaking mic right there. Alright. Part of the processes of unification of England and Scotland as Great Britain. Scotland selects 16 members. Emperor Aurangzeb dies in Ahmednagar, Aurangabad. Okay, that's tumultuous. Emperor died. Act of Union with Scotland is ratified by the Parliament of England. Okay, not tumultuous too much. Well, kind of tumultuous. I think that's like Scotland being colonialized by England, I think. Yeah, I think it's like something like that. What else is tumultuous? War of the Spanish Succession, Battle of Almanza. Okay, that's tumultuous. Yeah, that is definitely tumultuous. War is a war, basically. The Bourbon army of Spain and France with Irish mercenaries under the French-born Englishman James Fitzjames, 1st Duke of Berwick, soundly defeats the allied forces of Portugal, England, and the Dutch Republic led by the French-born Huguenot. Yeah, that's pretty tumultuous. Siege of Hativa within the Spanish kingdom of Valencia. Yep, that's tumultuous. Let's see. New sovereign state of Great Britain. That's kind of tumultuous. Yeah, even though that may not seem tumultuous, in historical context, that kind of could be tumultuous. The volcanic eruption and the Santorini caldera began. Santorini caldera. In the southern Aegean Sea, 120 kilometers north of Crete. Okay, that's tumultuous. That's pretty tumultuous. Let's see. On the island later known as Sri Lanka, Narendra Sindha becomes the monarch of most of the area as the new Kandyan king. Okay, it was upon the death of his father. There's something that happened on June 6th, between June 6th and June 8th. I'm having way too much fun with this side tangent. I am so sorry. I'm just having way too much fun with the side tangent of like how 1707 was tumultuous. I'm just gonna make this a little bit faster. Yeah, so, it's about that war in Hativa. Yes. Okay, so this is about that war we were looking at earlier. Got it. Less than 3 months after proclaiming himself to be the new emperor of India, Muhammad Azam Shah and his 3 sons are killed. Yep, okay, that's tumultuous. Yeah, I'm just skipping through this right now since this is like going way too long. War of Spanish Succession, the Battle of Toulon. Yep. Was wondering why we were looking at the Wikipedia page for 1707. Well, in the game of the house in Fata Morgana, Annalise, if we take a look, the maid says it was a tumultuous era. The maid says it was a tumultuous era. So, I'm showing why 1707 was a tumultuous era. Let's see. Charles the 12th of Sweden launches his campaign to conquer Russia. That's always a bad idea. I mean, at least it was during the summer. Yeah, it was during the summer. More things from the War of Spanish Succession, the Siege of Ciudad Rodrigo, the conquest by Austrian troops on September 20th of the Italian peninsula city of Gaeta is accomplished after a 3-month siege led by General Werwick Philip von Daun. The Sicilian naval disaster occurred on October 22nd. The Hoei earthquake. Okay. Yeah, Hoei earthquake. That's a pretty tumultuous thing. Earthquake that kills 5,000 people. That may not be the full estimate because this is 1707. Like, this is before they had a lot of, like, recording tools, so that number could be much higher, too. Wars span succession. The siege of Pensacola ends with the Spanish successfully defending their fort. The last recorded eruption of Mount Fuji begins in Japan. Damn. 1707 was hard. Damn. Let's see. Dates unknown. Ooh, what are the unknown things? The Battle of Yuraktau, the event that leads to the strengthening of the Bashkir Rebellion of 1704 to 1711. Okay. The Lao Empire of Longzhong officially ends and splits into kingdoms of Vientiane, Long Prabang, and Champasak. Alright. Enough about 1707. I think I've proven the maid's point about it being a tumultuous era. Let's go ahead and go back to the game. Though it was a tumultuous era, the sun still shone bright upon the land, which only served to emphasize the house's unsightliness. Oh yes, perhaps I should give you more background information. Oh wait, did I really just go through that Wikipedia page for no reason? At that period in time, a war had just drawn to a close. The once gorgeous wetlands were infested with crows, picking at decaying remains. Bodies of soldiers, fallen in battle, continually washed up on the shores of coastal villages. The people wanted nothing more than for the curtain to draw on that deeply political contest. And when it finally did, the kingdom, with its richly fertile shores, was stripped of its independence, beginning a new era under new rule. The people were exhausted, their spirits wasted away. I wonder if this is related to the combination of Scotland into England to make the United Kingdom, or Great Britain. I think this might be a little bit connected. Although, from what I remember, the house does move around to different parts of Europe, so it may not be no longer in England. The house may be another part of Europe. I want to say when I was last playing this game, it might have been the Netherlands that the house moved to, but I don't remember. Yeah, this is where my knowledge about this game gets a little bit fuzzy. And the splendor of the ocean and sky did nothing to help. In my mind, the beast was emblematic of the times, emaciated, and enveloped in the scent of blood. But the war came to an end. Thus, the beast did not have to remain a beast, I thought. Did he? And so, I endeavored to make the beast more human-like. First, I needed to do something about his appearance. I would draw a bath, scrub away all the filth, and dress him in clothing left in the mansion. However, having sat unused for 50 years, the majority of garments had been devoured by insects and were of little use. So I searched the mansion top to bottom for anything the beast could wear, heated up some coals, and set to work ironing what I found. At the time, steam irons had not yet been invented. We used plates of iron heated with coals. They somewhat resembled kettles. I wonder what those would look like, or what those were called. I even prepared meals for the beast, in order to teach him proper table manners. Although, with the mansion in a nearly uninhabitable state of disarray, there was only so much I could do in the kitchen. And the only supplies I had to work with were what was left in the cellar. As such, I was not able to put to use the cooking skills I had learned in the flaxen-haired family's time. Also, I have a correction to make. 1707 was not the time of Napoleon. That was the early 1800s. I completely forgot the timeline. Yeah, Napoleon, I just realized, was the 1800s, not the 1700s. My apologies. Yeah, I just was thinking about it in my head. I'm like, was Napoleon really around 1707? Because I thought I would have saw something about him. But then I realized he wasn't even in the 1700s. He was in the 1800s, I believe. Wow. And to think I took AP European history all those years ago. Now. You mustn't eat with your hands. Do you want to get your fingers and face dirty? You eat using a knife and fork. See? Like this. I feel like I am teaching a young child. Damn. Oh my. What are you holding your head for? Oh dear. Perhaps I should be teaching you to speak before table manners. Worry not. We have plenty of time. You needn't act so frightened. Or perhaps you do not want to be understood at all? Would you be so kind as to tell me your name? You are, for now, still a guess. It is too soon for me to call you Master. Or am I mistaken? Your name. That is what people call you. How about I start by telling you my name? I am called B.E. Bestia. Bestia. Your name is Bestia? I see. Then that is what I shall call you, Bestia. My, you seem to be rather perplexed as to how I was still alive. He had, in fact, attempted to cause me harm. However, I am a servant of the house. The beast called himself Bestia. It is a curious thing. When I learned his name, he seemed to take on a new importance in my mind. He was not a mere beast, but the thing called Bestia. Master. Should I ever have the chance to hear your name, I'm certain you too shall become more substantial a presence. But you must always remember, Master, that even if you do not remember your name, and even if you never know mine, you have always held a special place in my heart. And thus began my tranquil days with Bestia. Slowly, he began to learn the human tongue. And I was, to be quite honest, rather thrilled. To be certain, I was afraid of the beast. But my fear was not so strong as my elation that there was someone else in the mansion, someone to whom I could speak, and someone that might become my master. Come now, you must pull the weeds out at the roots, or they will soon grow back. This is a task that requires perseverance. You do it like this, see? There you go. Grass. Oh, did you not expect that? What appears to be many plants on the surface is actually all connected within the soil. This is a task that requires a man's strength. If there were other servants, they could do it. So I apologize for making you tend to the garden, future master. Or perhaps, now that you are all dressed up, do you wish to leave the mansion and find someone else to fool, as the wolf did the sweet little girl? Have you no interest in remaining in such a disheveled house? Not sure what NT is supposed to stand for. Go on. Not want leave. Oh my. Is that so? You know what the storyline kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of Frankenstein's monster. However, I'm thinking about the Mary Shelley book because for a while, Frankenstein stayed with the old blind man and he learned how to speak after Frankenstein rejected him. This kind of reminds me of that storyline in Frankenstein's monster, where Frankenstein's monster learned how to speak and kind of like, just read in general. I don't know why, but this is reminding me of that. If you wish to stay, then I shall not stop you. Speaking of Beast, he's awake. The Beast is awake. Hold on, let's see if I can show him on camera. The little beast behind me is awake. Yep, he's right on the chat box. The Beast is awake. I don't know if he's going to sit up during the stream, but he is awake. I just saw him just poke his head up. I think he saw a bird. He might be interested in a bird. But, yeah. Gonna have to keep a watch on the Beast. Alright, let's get back to the game. On the contrary, I will gladly attend to you. I am waiting for the person who is to become my master. Forever waiting. I should be able to watch over you until the day you depart this world, old and wrinkled. Do you not believe me? Are you interested in becoming the master of this house? Will be. I have to wonder if you know what you are saying. Although it matters little whether you do or not. Oh my, look at that. Now this brings back memories. This is called a rose. Do you know what a rose is? It is a type of flower. No. Do not know. I see. Then allow me to teach you. What you have here is not a real rose. The real roses wilted and are sleeping in the soil. This is called an accessory. It is something women wear. The beast held an ornamental white rose in his hands. An object someone, sometime, meant to give someone else. Curiously, the white rose was just as stunning as it had been the day it was made, despite being buried in the earth for so many years. I hear roses make wonderful gifts. He stared intently at the decorative rose. I had presumed the beast would either discard it disinterestedly or destroy it. But much to my surprise, Bestia held it gently in his hands, as though it were something precious to him. Are you, perchance, considering giving it to me? So you're not. Very well. Is there someone else you would like to give it to? In that moment, a thought floated through my mind. The thing I had found in a pool of blood in the cellar was a monstrous creature indeed, but perhaps that was not, at its core, what he truly was. So I asked him a question. What is it that you desire, Bestia? This mansion fulfills people's desires. If you yearn for something. Want. Live. Peace. Look at that filthy thing! A beast! It's a beast! It's eating goddamn sand! You really that hungry? Beast, you foul creature! Stay the hell back! Get any closer! Filthy beast! And I'll kill you! Several days passed by. As Beastia began to act more like a person, the mansion followed suit, slowly becoming more habitable, though not yet back to its former glory. No flowers grew in the mansion, but neither were there weeds infesting it. The dusty corridors, shadow windows, rust-covered kitchen gradually returned to their proper states. Beastia learned how to change his own clothes, and how to draw a bath. No longer did I have to wait on him hand and foot. He could take care of a number of things all by himself. What we lacked for food, he acquired from the forest. Never did he go to purchase supplies from the village. Rather, he captured hares and gathered herbs hidden in the overgrowth. There were days without incident. And though such a life may be one for excitement, peace is something you mustn't take for granted. Those who have it cast it aside, finding the leisurely flow of time dull. Only those who have never experienced it truly know how precious it is. Beastia appeared to be content. He wore an expression of solitary serenity. Someone! Is anyone there? And then one day, a crack formed in the uneventful tranquility. Is anyone in there? Could you part with some food? I don't need much. Some food and water. Just a little. That's all I need. Beastia looked over at me, as if seeking my aid. Ironic, no? It was the visitor who was truly in need of aid. I pondered it for a few moments, deciding that I could not simply turn away someone calling upon the mansion. Had Beastia ordered me not to let him in, I would have followed his instructions, but he said nothing. Oh, thank God! Someone's here! Also, was that guy the merchant? I think that was the merchant. I was afraid it was deserted! You said you were in need of sustenance? I like how he appeared for one moment, then disappeared as if like he just ran through the door. Yes! It doesn't have to be much. Anything to quench this thirst. I got lost, and it's been several days. Give me a few moments. I'll find... Let him in. A firm, deep voice came from behind me. I was quite startled. When had the beast learned to act so much like a human? When he had learned to speak so clearly, and to behave so much like a master? Ah! Upon seeing Beastia, a look of terror appeared to cross the wanderer's face for a moment. To my eyes, Beastia was the very image of a head of house, but to an outsider, he probably appeared to be nothing more than a beast in man's clothing. Prepare him a meal and a bed. I suspect he is quite tired. Thank you very much. But in time, the fear drained from the man's face. Beastia sat precariously on the border between man and beast. Though he still had his doubts, the wanderer revised his first impression, deciding Beastia was human. As the wolf had fooled the little girl in the forest, he too had succeeded in playing the role of a man. I thought I was a goner for a while there. You finally came to the rescue. And a meal like this on top of that? You really didn't have to. You really didn't have to. Though I guess that's not inappropriate to say as I'm eating. What kind of meat is this? Hare. It's damn tender for a rabbit. And here I thought it was beef. You have quite the skilled chef. Oh, is she the one who cooked this? Is she your wife? Oh no, I am merely a servant. A female servant, huh? Don't see that very often. This mansion's just full of surprises. I can hardly believe it. Lost for days, and as soon as I think I'm dead, there it is. Thinking back on it now, it's miraculous. But why are you two living alone in a house on a cliff? I beg your pardon. Asking so many questions without telling you about myself. My apologies, just a little too excited to finally see other people. I'm a merchant. I do international trade. Until a few years back, spice exports pretty much all came from one place. But now that we established trade routes of our own, my country's fighting tooth and nail to push its exports. And in fact, some have lost a few teeth in the fight already. But that's just how it works. It's a cutthroat world. You do what you must to survive. That's just how it works, the merchant said, a sorrowful look on his face. He was quite clearly putting on a show, though. Confidence in himself and his homeland radiated from that man. I came to this land to do business. But much to my chagrin, I somehow ended up lost in the forest. Had I wandered around for much longer, I have lost the chance to ever see my beloved again. Your beloved? Yes, sir. I'm constantly out on business, so we only get to see each other a few times a year. But she always waits for my return. I'd like to introduce you to her if I ever get the chance. She's a pretty girl, if not especially striking. Is that so? The merchant was a man of many words, and I, for one, do not mind a lively supper table. Though I know not how Bestia felt, at the very least. I was glad we had invited the wanderer into the mansion. He was, after all, holding a proper conversation with someone, and he seemed to be having success concealing his piercing, beast-like gaze. However... Oh, right! I stopped by the village before entering the forest, and I heard a bone-chilling tale there. As soon as the merchant brought up the subject, a palpable tension spread through the room. Uh-oh. Seems like Bestia's background's about to be revealed. They say there have been sightings of a beast. It's a creature unlike anything anyone's seen before. Not a wolf or a bear or anything like that. It even attacked the village once, killing several people. Thankfully, the men managed to drive it out. But the creature is still alive. There's nothing in this world scarier than a vicious beast. Uh-oh. That might have struck a nerve with Bestia. So you should keep an eye out. Wouldn't want to accidentally let a murderous beast into your home. At the villager's insistence, I had the smithy forge me a knife. I had the smithy. Is that knife? Huh? With you now? Well, yeah, I got it on me. Only good to defend myself with, but it's better than... That knife. You brought that knife. You're here to kill me with that knife! Huh? You're going to stab me again and again with that knife. Like they did last time. That's why you're here, isn't it? What are you talking about? What's gotten into you? Stab and stab and stab. Calm down. What are you so worried about? I'm not going to hurt you with this. What did you say? Ah! I like to imagine that before the wolf ate the poor little girl, he said, Is this what I always looked like? That beast! What's your problem? What's wrong? Talk like a human! Is me. Stop! Stay back! Get any closer, and I'll stab you to death! You act like you only just realized I'm a beast. That's right! I'm a beast! I killed them. Stay back! And I'll do the same to you! Ah! Help! In his hand, Bestia held a sword. Perhaps it had been hidden under the table, or maybe behind his chair? Regardless, it was as though he had expected this to happen. The merchant kicked aside a chair, attempting to flee, but Bestia closed the distance in an instant, knocking him back. He lost his balance and slammed against the wall, but he still made to escape, though the beast stood blocking his path. No! Please stop this! Don't kill me! My beloved is waiting for me back home! I can't leave her behind! And why should I care? A dreadful scream echoed through the dining room. I reflexively covered my ears. Is that the same man from before? I think the clothing are a little bit different, but I only saw that guy for a second. He also could have changed clothes. Please help! Someone! Anyone! No one's going to come for you. This mansion's a long way from town. Help! That woman! Where is she? Why isn't she here? She was just... Ah! You'll kill me if I don't kill you. And so, I must show you that I will. I must show you that I'm serious. I must kill you, or you won't understand. You just won't understand! If I don't show you firsthand, you won't understand! I'll make you understand! I'll make your flesh and bones understand! Kill. I'll kill you! I'll kill you! Ah! Kill you! Monster. That's right. I am a beast. Damn. They had been enjoying a peaceful meal around the table just together minutes earlier. So what had triggered this? If I were to guess, the merchant saying the word knife is what caused the beast to snap. A simple, small thing set him off. I could not comprehend it. Bestia, who said he had wished for peace, was staring down at the ravaged corpse of the merchant with a look of ecstasy on his face. Ecstasy. Master, can you understand how he felt? Even just a little. Did he not yearn for peace, but for slaughter? The House in Fata Morgana, Dreams of the Revenants Edition. Hello, Pauline. I do remember you. I do remember you, Pauline. However, that is all the time I have for this stream. I'm getting close to my hour limit mark, so I'm going to be ending everything right here. I'm also a little bit lightheaded from laughing earlier. Oh my god. Oh, my cat's up. Hold on. The beast. The beast is up. Take a look. It's the beast. It's the beast. Look, everyone. It's a beast. It's the beast. Yeah. I had to kind of have to point my finger slightly to the right of him so that it'll show that I'm pointing at him on the camera. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, so I'm not directly pointing at him, but on the screen it looks like I'm pointing at him. But yes, the beast is awake. He's just watching outside, like he's just staring at birds outside. But yes, thank you everybody for watching the stream. My god, I am really lightheaded. I got way into character right there. Whoo! But yes, thank you everybody for watching the stream, and yeah, we're gonna be seeing more Beastia very soon, as well as getting introduced to Pauline. However, that'll be for next stream the next time. So thank you everybody for watching this video. Thank you everybody for joining me on the stream, and the archive will be up very soon.
Okay, okay.